team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. Now get it. Big Snoop Dogg. It's in the game.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto, if you wanna.
First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Prescott looks to throw on first. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Let's go! Here we go.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Jam.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 34-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Prescott. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. He'll kick it away after 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 12-yard line.
He goes, set! Galawini! Galawini!
On 1st down, Stafford here. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
Oh, that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Hey, 47. Check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Right here. Hassan. Finds the mic.
Let's get the ball.
Prescott from the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Switch up. Monday. Hey, 5-0. 53, Mike. I want that. Buzz.
To throw again. Stafford looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Here we go, 47.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Pick me up. Here we go. Then we're going to 52.
Prescott to throw it. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Stafford. And Brate, the tight end's got it. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Stafford. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 40, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Second and goal at the 11-yard line.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal.
Watch the slant.
Here's Prescott. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Logan. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Airing this one out for Evans. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 65 yards. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a first and goal just inside the 5. They'll run it here with Logan, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. T.J. Logan, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Prescott. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way that pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
At the 47-yard line.
Set! Blue 60! Check 53. Here we go.
They'll run on first down. Logan. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Let's go, baby. Return over. Get that ball. 59! Check safety, check safety.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback,
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he's going to go down again. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch tight end, watch tight end.
Here's Prescott. And Thomas has it. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Check. Check 45 the mic. Quit talking about it.
First down, Prescott. And his throw here's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott out of the backfield. That's complete to Kamara. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Prescott now. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Now Prescott. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the 1st.
Here we go, 46, 46. 45.
Prescott on 1st down. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott, and now he's going to use his legs. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1.
Here we go, kill. Here we go, go to 54, line, 26.
Throwing, Prescott. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw again. Stafford looking downfield for Godwin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, Stafford got his man complete over the middle. It's Logan, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
11. 40 got. 53.
Throwing again is Stafford. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Ready?
Throwing again. Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He's got Jack Doyle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Here we go. Check my 45. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Here we go. 47.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. To throw is Prescott. Looking long for Thomas. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Incomplete. Brings up third down and 17.
So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
That's it, baby. We got
Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 8-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission? And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big gain.
On first down, Logan. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Middle.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford over the middle, complete. That's Logan. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Hey, 180. 53, Mike. Check.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Go.
Screen. Check. 53.
Back to throw. Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. But now it's 3rd and goal.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The crowd here in the dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 5.
Makes the score Buccaneers 14, Saints 9.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Come on, let's go.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Prescott to throw it. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Let's go.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go, 47.
Now Prescott. He gets it complete to Harris. The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Steps away to his left. He'll try and run it. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception. Really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. A second down throw for Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off inside the 10. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford and Brate, the tight end's got it. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On third down, it's Logan. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Kamara now to return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Here's Prescott. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
They'll run on first down. Logan. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They run again with Logan. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth.
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
On first down, it's Logan. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Michael, 180. 56. Watch the run. They're running it. Look at that.
On 2nd and 15 now. Stafford. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. David Onyemata able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Third down.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Bravo. 56 to Mark, boy. 56. Check.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Go to 54, go to 54.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Right there, 54 Mike. I got him. We're going to 54. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
From the 22, Prescott looking for his running back, and he's got him. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Here we go, 46.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Saints have retaken the lead. big two-point conversion attempt still to come. Prescott from the gun. And this will be incomplete.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for two, when to go for one. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for two. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up one makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Bradley Pena now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Williams to return. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey.
Prescott. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Safety creep. Kill. Back. Watch safety. We're going to 53. Safety's creeping.
Here's Prescott. It's brought in by Harris. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown.
45. Shiv, watch the shiv. He's 47.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Get off the field. Check. We're going to 54. Check 37. Check 3.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Prescott to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
They get 1 more as the extra point's up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. That's fielded in the end zone. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. David Onyemata in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Kamara. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here comes the Saints punter now. He's been terrific so far. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the fourth quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the fourth quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for the Saints, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.
There ain't no time, is it? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch and you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, Just for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, I never switch, I never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long, say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent my 10 on my 50. Ex-slick, then hit with the back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the bip. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When it come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and ain't my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm put in 10, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it